Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Boy, did y'all hear about the breaking news today? Man, what a day in the NFL, huh? If you didn't know, the NFL has capped the minimum floor for the salary cap at $180 million. So that means the projected 175, at least you got now a starting point for most teams to start at least thinking about what they're going to do personnel-wise. So that gives the Cowboys a base. It gives a lot of teams that are in the red a base. And it's going to help go a long way, even though the salary cap isn't, fully determined yet. At least you know the bottom rate that you're going to need to get to. So, you mean the other news that broke today? Okay, yeah, I guess we can talk about it. Okay, if you haven't heard, Carson Wentz, it will be traded from the Philadelphia Eagles to the Indianapolis Colts for a third-round pick and a conditional second-round pick. The stuff they had to do to move up to get Carson Wentz in the first place and then pay the man like they did, the Eagles may actually be worse off more than we are. The only thing that's been hindering us is, why haven't you paid your quarterback? Which, rightfully so, is pissing off a lot of us fans. But then you look at the two guys he's been compared to all this time, and Jared Goff, who was paid and traded, and Carson Wentz, who has been paid and traded. And we're not going to talk about all the other quarterbacks that went before and after Dak that are either not in the league anymore or are clear backups to third-round picks to God knows where they are now. So you'd have to think the Cowboys are starting to look better in this predicament, even though they haven't paid their quarterback. Now, all this going on is probably giving buyer's remorse to the Cowboys, like, man, if we pay him all this money, what if he regresses to the point that we're going to have to trade him? I don't think that's going to happen, especially if you use your money to go and get talent around him, like you keep trying to tell us, then you should be fine. But if you're going to mess around, pay the man, and then do diddly squat, but get bargain basement guys every single year like you've been doing, and you don't achieve anything, that's not on Prescott. That's on you guys for making bad deals like you've been doing for a quarter century. That has nothing to do with your quarterback. And to blame your quarterback for your last quarter century worth of mediocrity is bull. But that's another story for another day. I just wanted to come on here real quick and say, a couple words about the salary cap being floored at $180 million. So now teams got a jumping off point to what could possibly be the cutoff. So now they can start looking at their personnel. And the Carson Wentz trade, now he's going to Frank Reich. He's the guy who made him MVP caliber in 2017. Unfortunately, he hurt himself that year trying to be MVP, and he hasn't been right since, really. And there's one thing to have Frank Reich be your offensive coordinator at the time, to Frank Reich being head coach. That means his offensive philosophy may be there, but him actually doing play calling and all that, that's probably not going to happen. In fact, that kind of bones the Colts, because isn't their offensive coordinator now over in Philly? And then you get rid of the guy he was supposed to fix? It kind of doesn't make sense that Philadelphia made all these moves to help fix Carson, and then you got rid of him. Kind of stupid on their part. But to think there's a team that's less dysfunctional than us, I'm happy to hear it. Because we can only joke Washington and New York but so much. Now we can get Philly on making their boneheaded decisions as well. The give and take that they had to get Carson to getting rid of him, it just wasn't worth it. And if it was the Cowboys doing some stupid stuff like that, the social media and the talking heads would have a field day. They'd be talking about it well into the season, and we'd never hear the end of it. Of course, this will be swept under the rug as quickly as possible because it's not the Cowboys. So they're not going to worry about it as much as they would if it was a Dak sign and trade type deal, you know. But that's all I wanted to say about that. I mean, more power to the Colts for going out and getting somebody who you think you can fix and turn your team around. But it's now going to be compared to, you know, all the stuff Peyton did, the stuff that Andrew Luck tried to do, and the fact that they were a playoff team. They were already a playoff team with Phillip Rivers. So imagine if they regress and go backwards from being a playoff team to something worse. That's going to make this deal look a hell of a lot worse in the long run than making a Super Bowl. But if we listen to crackpot Dan Orlovsky, the Colts are instant Super Bowl contenders now because Carson Wentz is going to them. So we're going to call you on BS about a year from now, Dan Orlovsky, but we call BS on him pretty much every day anyway for his hot takes that never work. And phone call that I ain't worried about. The Eagles, on the other hand, now let's find out if Jalen Hurts is the man. Or are they going to be dumb enough to draft another quarterback, number 6 overall? This is going to be a big telling of where the Eagles see themselves. If this blows up in their face, then Philadelphia fans can pretty much say Howie Roseman is done in Philly. This will be the last straw here because there's no way, after everything y'all did, to still get rid of the guy and hope for the best. Okay, that's what you're going to go with. But that's all I wanted to talk about. At least there's no crazy Cowboys news, right? Y'all take care. Stay safe out there. This is VA Dallas Cowboy fan.